Hi artists, welcome to Teacher Time with Mrs. Panza. For this activity, we'll be creating what's called a candy apple to look like Kandinsky's circular artwork. So when you're in Seesaw, you want to click Add Response. From there, it'll bring you to the template that you can work on if you're choosing to use technology. First, what we're going to do is fill in the solid space that you're not going to be putting your circles in. So for this, we're going to be doing the exterior space. We'll be filling those in with circles. So I'm actually going to start with my interior space and fill that in just with a solid color. When you kind of tap the tools down at the bottom, it shows you different size circles. That'll be the size mark that it will give you. So I'm using a wider mark so I can fill that space in a little bit more quickly. If some of your black lines get covered up as you're working, not a big deal. I'll show you how to bring those back in a little bit. Okay, so the first step is just kind of filling in that space. And then I'm going to switch to a new color and do the same thing with my background in that square space that you have. I would pick a color that is different than the color you chose for the apple so that there's some contrast there. You don't want them to blend in with one another. You want it to stand out. Okay, so from there I'm going to start with some of my thick lines. So again, when you tap on the tool, you want to use one of the wider circles. And we're just going to go around the outside of the apple. And with each new circle, you might get cut off at the bottom. Just pretend that circle keeps going. And then pick up right here. Okay, now that I have some of those larger circles, I'm going to go back to my tool and pick one of these smaller circles here. So that's going to give me a more narrow line. And now I can go back and add some of those smaller rings. And each time I do a new circle, I like to switch colors so it's nice and colorful, just like Kandinsky's work. Finally, I'm going to go back and fill in that leaf shape. Okay, so now I have to go back and kind of clean up some of those lines that I lost there. So I'm going to switch to the color black to outline everything and make sure that my tool is on one of those smaller circles. And I'm going to go back in and just bring back some of those lines that got covered up. By doing that, it'll make my apple shape stand out a little more, the leaf and the stem. And I'm also going to go around the outside edge of the square, this time making that line much thicker. That'll also cover up some of those lines that maybe went outside of the space. After you do that, you will have a piece of artwork that looks really similar to Kandinsky's artwork with his circles. I hope you had fun watching and giving it a try on your own.